What's up, everybody? How's it going? Austin Practical Elevate Performance, coming at you live. Trying a little bit of a different setup right now in terms of my lives and camera and angle and all that jazz. A little messy in the background, updating or like rearranging some stuff. So I put out a post today about why I don't like meal plans, and I know that a lot of people probably saw it and were just like, or like even like other coaches and things like that were probably just like, like I do that, I don't like that, that kind of thing. And so I just want to kind of reiterate and clarify as to like why I don't like them, and why I don't think that they're a good solution for a lot of people. Just because for me, I want all of my clients and everybody that I work with to understand that I want them to know what they're doing and why they're doing it and how it's going to help them. And so I think in a lot of ways that's kind of where it stems from. And so so earlier I said I don't like meal plans, and I'm not going to make a meal plan. And I sometimes when I'm on the phone talking to people potentially whenever they want to work with me, sometimes they talk about meal planning and things like that, and I just straight up say oftentimes like I don't do that and I'm not going to do that, and here's why. When it comes to meal plans, at their core there's nothing like inherently bad about them. It's just a matter of them not being a long-term solution to your problem. And for me, I want those that I work with, and I want all you guys to be able to do something long term. I want you to be able to do something sustainable. I want you to be able to make a lifestyle out of it. So that's where I'm coming from with that. And so, and why do I even bring this up in the first place? It's a lot of it is because I want people to know that there are other options out there. I want people to know that you can, you don't have to be on this like really restrictive, overly restrictive like diet or like plan where you can't eat the foods that you love. And so a lot of people might not even start a fitness journey in the first place because they're scared that they're not going to be able to do it. They're scared that they're not going to be able to give up the foods that they love because they feel like, or they think that they have to do that. They think that, if I want to get skinny, or I want to lose weight, I gotta eat chicken, or I gotta eat rice, or I only can eat salads, or blah blah blah. I gotta eat rice cakes, or I gotta eat bread that doesn't that isn't satisfying all the time. And it's like that's just not how it has to be. And so a lot of people might be afraid to start their fitness journey because of the overly restrictiveness of what they think a fitness journey has to be, or a weight loss journey has to be. They think it's this like zero flexibility, the zero I can't have this, I can't have that, and that's another reason why I don't like keto or I don't like any of these other fad diets, is because it puts people in this position where they feel like they it's either I have to be fucking miserable if I want to lose weight, or I have to stay like overweight, and that's just not the case. Like it's not, and so that's why I think and that's why I teach a lot of my clients about flexible dieting. That's why I think flexible dieting is so freaking important, because honestly, like at the end of the day, it's like that's why I don't like meal plans, and it's not for me. It's not for my clients, because I want my clients to come away with making this into a lifestyle, making this a long-term thing. Because honestly, if somebody told me that I have to eat chicken and broccoli and rice like for the rest of my life, I'd tell them to go fuck themselves. And that's I would. I'm not going to do something like that. I think that meal plans have a place, and they have for more short-term goals or short-term parts of people's lives. I think that they can be useful for that. But if you're somebody that's going for like something for the long term and you want to make a lifestyle out of it and you want to make it something sustainable, like that's just not the way to go, because like a lot of times it's just so a lot of times whenever I talk to people on the phone, there's like I've tried meal plans before and I hated it because it was just so boring and redundant. It's like you can spice up meal plans. I'm not to say that like meal planning or meal plans have to be boring, but like that defeats the purpose of it for me. Like it's you're basically like putting a Band-Aid on the problem, like the source of the problem, which is it's not that you you need meal plans to lose weight. It's that you need to understand, for me anyways, I want you to understand why and how you lose the weight, because whenever it comes to, like keeping it off and maintaining and sustaining your body, or like, pushing it to reach further and further goals, like you need to have a deeper understanding of nutrition. You need to understand why and how you lost the weight in the first place. And so like, that's like my, mission. It's like, meal planning doesn't teach you how to do it on your own eventually. And it doesn't teach you how to make a lifestyle out of it. It just doesn't. And so, it's like, what are my clients going to do whenever they stop working with me? Right? They're just going to keep following that meal plan for the rest of their lives. They're just going to keep eating the same shit over and over again for the rest of their lives. Like, I don't want that. I want you to be, like, educated. I want you, like, and this thing, too, it's like, a lot of times people are worried, like, that they won't be able to understand it. And, like, I'm going to be honest, like, there's definitely, like, a learning curve for everybody. Whether it's big or small, there's a learning curve there. But when it comes to it just depends, like, on your background. But it's not that complicated. It's more difficult to get into the habit of it and to get into like wrapping your mind around it, like than like in implementing it, than it is actually like to understand the concepts of it. And so but it's more of a front-loaded method in terms of like getting people to their goals, but it's a long-term method too. Like, not only is it like once you learn how to do it, and once you learn how to, you hone in on that and you figure yourself out in that way, like that's that for the rest of your life. Like, you don't have to rely on like meal planning or going off of meal plans that are like kind of like made for you. And so it's just like, that's where I'm coming from with this, and that's why I think that I think it's again like that whole choose your hard concept. It's like, do you want to it's like, do you want to like basically like, I don't know, it's hard to learn something new, right? Like, it's hard to learn something new. And in this case, not necessarily as much, but like I'd rather choose the hard of learning something new once than to choose the hard of feeling like I can't enjoy myself, or that I'm tied to like this like overly restrictive or like redundant like meal plan for the rest of my life. Like, that's my, that's what I want. I feel like that's what the majority of people, that's how they feel anyways. And so, and that doesn't mean that you don't need to value, or you need to like focus on the structure of your nutrition, because that's super freaking important. It is. But like recognizing that, that is a component, and that once you understand nutrition and a foundational understanding of nutrition, you can do so much more with it. That's a tool that's in your pocket for the rest of your life. That is. And so, yeah. And so that's how I feel about that. And so, I'd rather teach my clients how to make their own meal plans that fit their lifestyle and their tastes, that they can prep, rather than just like spoon feeding people stuff. Because if you just like keep handing people like every answer that they need, or everything that they need in general for their goals, like, they're not going to be able to do that on their own eventually. Like, and for me, like, and I say this sometimes, like, it's counterintuitive, but like, I don't think that it should end there for people in terms of meal plan. I don't think that that's what you should like settle for. Like, I feel like you should continue to like pursue things, and I think that they're useful, like I said in the past, like I said already, like, for different periods of time in your life. Like, if you already understand how nutrition works and you understand these things, like, it can be useful, it can be helpful if you're like really, really busy. But like, that's just my take on that. And so that's why I teach flexible dieting. That's why I think that it's way better to learn and understand nutrition at its base, and be able to do something for yourself for the long term, and maintain that, because like, in a lot of ways, and flexible dieting in a sense is the precursor to intuitive eating, which I think for a lot of people, that's what they would want and they would enjoy, is to be able to know kind of in their head and have that profile for food in a sense going forward. Like, oh, I probably just can, I know what I need in order to reach my goals. Now, if you're going for like specific goals, like for a bodybuilding competition or for a physique show or something like that, like, yes, like, you're going to need to dial in your nutrition if you want to get like crazy freaking like, stage ready shredded kind of stuff. And that is important. But again, like, you don't need to meal plan for that either. So, yeah. So long story short, it's one thing to, lose weight, but to understand why you lost the weight in the first place, that's invaluable. Like, and I think that, a lot of people would benefit from knowing about this because it makes it less scary and it makes it less daunting and it makes their goals seem, more realistic and achievable. So that's my life for today. That's why I don't like meal plans. That's why I think flexible dieting / if it fits your macros style of, learning about nutrition, it's just so important. It's so important. And learning about energy balance and all that, like and CECO, calories in, calories out, and just understanding those things can, put you in a place of feeling like you're in more control. So, if you got value if you got value from this live, let me know. Give it a share if you think somebody get value from it. Tag them in the comments or whatever you want to do. Let me know what your number one takeaway was. If you watch this at a later time, #replay. Let me know you saw it. Other than that, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a great freaking Monday. Back to daily lives, and I'll talk to you guys.